Charlie. Stewardship is going to harvest along point there for the next couple of hours. We'll be harvesting some mussels. Our family has been involved in mussel farming for as far as we can see. I just felt like that every generation should add a little bit to it. And some people have started in other countries and that was successful, but nobody really had made that jump across the Atlantic. So I figured, well, maybe that's a possibility.
It was kind of a fun process because we looked in all sorts of places. Teo came to visit Bar Harbor and he never left. He just kind of called and said, I found it, sell the house, bring the children, we'll see you in Maine.
I kind of fell in love with Maine right from the get-go. It's hard to describe how busy Holland is. There are people everywhere and there's not a spot in the country that is unclaimed or unused. And then you come to Maine and there's just miles and miles of woodlands, there's hiking trails, there's mountains to climb, and there's way less human influence. It's just pure, untouched. And with that, you're able to make your living using the nature and using the beauties of Maine.
I like the shape of the coastline. I think it's ideal for aquaculture because there's rise and fall, so there's a flush through of the currents, and there are bays and coves that are sheltered and protected. So I think there's an awful lot of opportunity here.
If you're starting a new farm, which is basically what we did, it takes some time because coastal communities tend to be very proud and self-sufficient, and they don't necessarily like change, and they certainly don't like foreigners doing change. So there's a great deal of humility required if you're going to do this. I had a lot of help.
The mussels are still good mussels, good size here.
I've known Fiona and Teo for, maybe 10 years. They give a lot of people chances to work here. It's hard to say, have you been a mussel processor before? No, nobody has. So they pay well, they treat their help well, and what you end up with is a workforce that's good and dedicated. I consider it a privilege to work for them, and even when they come out soaked at the end of the day and they feel bad, I'm like, nope, this is where I want to be.
Mussels are picky. They have to have ideal conditions on the seafloor. You have to have just the right stuff for it.
The coast of Maine has very clean waters, very clear waters, but at the same time, normally nutrient-rich comes with murkiness and a lot of life. But because we get the Labrador Current hitting the Gulf of Maine, we get very cold and very high nutrient waters, which provide a great growing environment for mussels while creating a harder growing environment for many of their predators. And because there is less pollution around Maine, there is plenty of areas that you can use for lease sites to create these shallow artificial mussel beds that you can take care of and grow them successfully.
I think there's huge opportunities for aquaculture development in Maine, and now the public perception is gradually changing, and that's a really healthy thing because aquaculture can be small scale. It can grow into medium size and it can be big scale, and I think there's a place for all of those things, but what is important is that there's some cohesive management so that it is done responsibly and with the eye on stewardship of the resources.
The model that they're using is one that's sustainable and will not deplete resources and won't hurt anybody else's, which is what's great.
The product that we put out is top-notch. The people that want our product because they know it's well-maintained. Everything works in the course of a day because this company puts 110% effort into it.
Were these today's mussels?
He picked up today, so they might be.
Oh, might be.
Really. We probably know every single name.
Hey, this is Freddie.
They're good.
They're good.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
It's such a blessing to work with your family, it really is. It's like a little coral reef and everybody can do their part, and I think that brings such a strong bond. It's a generational kind of business, and for me the motivation for doing this is the family.
They actually give you a spoon, so I suppose you don't have to use a shell.
The shell's always a fun drink.
Neanderthal.
The best thing about being on the boat is the freedom. You are out in the open air, on the sea, doing really constructive, hard work. You have a sense of purpose and you have a sense of pride in what you're doing.
Our crew is a very good crew. It's fun to work with these guys, so I love it.